All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everybody. We have now global audience. Thanks to the technology and welcome. You are welcome to this concert by Milind Date and Sandeep Chitre will be facilitating the discussion. Now let me tell about something about the concert and a few some background about Sarega Labs. How we have this Sarega Lab business and why we're having this concert. My name is Madhukar Sagar, if you don't know me, and I'm a retired software engineer, and I also have a passion for playing flute. And a couple of years back, I was practicing my flute, and I just had to switch to Android phone, and I couldn't find a good tanpura tabla to play with, and so I thought of developing one for myself. And so I learned some mobile programming and developed Sarega Tabla Pro, and that's how we had Sarega Tabla Pro. And eventually I retired, and then now it's kind of my retirement occupation, writing software for music. So I'll be writing a few more apps, and as we go along, we will know about that. So that gives some background of Sarega Tabla Pro and about the concert. I thought that what is the uh, best way to really deprogram this last year of 2020 and look forward to better things in 21 than having a music concert. And I hope you all agree with me. And so we are going to have a flute concert. Bansuri is my favorite instrument. And there we have our flute artist, Milind Date. Let me give a spotlight to him. And
Hello Madhukarji, hello everybody.
and Sandeep Chitre. Sandeep Chitre is a friend of mine from New Jersey. He's very energetic volunteer in Marathi Show and other non-profit organizations. And he also shares the love for flute with me. And we kind of struggled with her flute play. And he was kind enough to share his contact with Milind Date, and he introduced me to Milind Date. And so I got a lot of valuable guidance through Milind. As I know, I came to know last 5 6 years. Milind is very not only talented and talented and hardworking, but all-round musician. Not only about flute, but he can do all genres and he knows all intricacy of music, and he can explain a lot of mystical things in a very simplified manner. So that's what I like about him the most. And he has done many performances. He has plenty of albums. There is an album, international album produced in New York City. He has been to South Korea, Canada, America. He has done music for Netflix series. He's constantly traveling and producing music and also doing photography. He's writing as a critic about music. You can visit his site, Milin.date, Milin dot date, sorry, and read more about it. And I think let me not take too much of your time. We'll quickly jump to the concert, but feel free to give your reactions on our page, and please visit and like our pages. Milin has his own page, and our page is Sarega Tabla Pro page. And so now I will just hand this over to Sandeep and Milin.
Hello, good morning,
Hello.
good evening, everyone. Hi, Milin.
Hi, how are you?
Good, good. So it's a nice, beautiful snow day here in New Jersey. So Sunday morning with snow again. So it's beautiful sight outside, and I'm sure it will be a beautiful concert. Listening to your flute and chatting with you. So looking forward to it. Thank you, Madhukarji, for this opportunity. And like Madhukarji said, without getting too much in details first. I request Milind if you could maybe play something like an alap or something for us to, start the concert and get us in that mood so that we can take it forward with the discussion. Hope you're okay with that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll just sit back and relax, and I'll ask my audience to do the same. All yours, Milind.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Madhukurji, and thank you very much for inviting me to perform concert and have a discussion. And thank you, Sandeep, so to agreeing to be a part of this and having a musical dialogue. And I'm so much looking forward for it that I also don't want to talk now much, and I'm going to play something for all of you. Uh, Generally, when we have this Facebook or international online concerts, uh, I always think of some kind of rag which will be suitable for evening in India and morning in United States or the Americas. So I am going to play for a while Rag Bhupali. Initially, I'm going to play Alap, Jod, uh, and then eventually I'll be playing Bandi Challi. Uh, uh, can you hear the Tanpura properly, Sandeep?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
we can.
This Tanpura is coming via this fabulous app Madhukurji has created for all of our musician friends and everybody. This is right now I'm playing from my Android phone, and it's such a warm and such a beautiful sound. You'll enjoy, I'm sure. So Rag Bhupali.
Wow, what a beginning. Fantastic.
Thank you.
That was beautiful.
Thank you
Thank you, Milind.
very much.
Beautiful. I know it'll take a few seconds for me to, come back in this mode of conversation. But uh, thank you for playing that beautiful Bhupali. And if I'm saying this right, I always think, Rag Bhupali is like a father. And here's why I'm saying so, based on my personal experience. Because when someone is new to learning Indian classical music, Rag Bhupal is one of the first, maybe couple of
Oh yeah,
rag that
definitely.
someone learns,
Yes.
right? So in a way that's like a father that holds your hand and walks you, like helps you walk on a street, etc. But
Yeah.
more importantly, once someone like moves forward in that learning journey, learns few more rag and etc. Every now and then one has to visit to Bhupali and try some things that they want to try differently. And in that regard, I think Bhupali is like father who guides you on path, not only holds your hand.
Yeah, I think that's a very nice way you have observed the things. Very, very nice. Yes, Rag Bhupali is one of my very, very favorite rags. Of course, it is one of the rags I learned in my very early beginning. Um, Yet I prefer to perform that rag so often. Actually, I just did perform it like a week ago in Kolhapur. I had gone for a little tour, and on the way, my last stop was at Kolhapur. So I was staying at a friend's place, and I was requested to play something. So I really didn't think much. I just picked up the flute, and whatever the notes came out were of Rag Bhupali. It's there on YouTube. I mean, you can just search for that. The recording is there on the YouTube. I mean, I once I like I heard it once I returned to Pune. I heard the recording. Somehow I felt that it's very peaceful. That has turned up very very peaceful, very quiet, and very nice playing. I mean, that's my feeling. I don't know how what you will feel.
Same here, same here. It brings that inner peace, joy,
Hmm.
and especially in current times of
Oh yeah,
the COVID situation, and everybody's stressed with
yeah.
something or the other. Uh, and just by looking at watching you play, let me share. I learned couple of things right away. Primarily, I remember one of the you asked me to focus on one exercise in recent times without thinking of anything else. And now watching you play, I could see why you asked me particularly to focus on that particular
Oh,
exercise,
okay.
and
I don't know which
we'll
exercise
chat
exactly.
about it later. But now I
Later, it's too
exactly know why
technical.
you asked me to focus on that. And I'll use some of this, but at professional life, I'm an agile coach, scrum coach. Uh, One thing that we try to coach our teams is what we call it as reduce, WIP limit, that is work in progress limit.
Hmm.
So, like what you asked me to focus on that one particular exercise, that's very important for me personally.
Hmm.
But let me start this conversation with couple of like few of the common interests and some things. But let me talk about Harry Potter.
Yeah.
And I'll say why
Always good
I
idea.
mentioned Harry Potter.
Yeah.
When I was watching
Dumbledore
Harry
says
Potter,
that the music is the better magic than any of the magic they perform. He
absolutely,
actually says that.
yeah, yeah. And what had attracted one of the first few things when I was watching Harry Potter is it is wand chooses wizard. A
Yeah,
wizard
that's
doesn't
right.
choose a wand,
Yeah.
right? I always thought when I watched that scene for the first time, the first thought came to my mind was when it comes to musical instruments, it's so true, particularly about the flute or the bansuri,
Hmm.
right? Because you'll see that there are a lot of people who will get naturally attracted to the sound of the flute. It's very soothing, a
Hmm.
nice, beautiful sound. But you
Hmm.
don't necessarily find too many people getting attracted to like learning the flute. And
Oh, that's not true. That's not true.
this is changing, of
In
course.
India, at least, you might feel that tabla is very, very popular, guitar is
Mhm.
very, very popular, but that stays in only metropolitan cities like Bombay, Pune, Chennai, uh, Bangalore, whatever, Delhi, and all that. Uh, Guruji, Pandit Haribsa ji, in one of his public interviews, he had said that, in the way he said, no, I mean, I'll never forget that. He said, like, हिंदुस्तान के हर शहर में 2 ट्रक भर के फ्लूट प्लेयर है.
क्या बात कर रहे हैं?
So,
Nice.
हिंदुस्तान के हर गांव में, that means every town in country of India has 2 flute players, which are like 2 truck full of flute players.
Nice.
I like the unit he used also. Truck full of people. So if you go to the countryside, if you go to smaller places, flute is very immensely popular instrument. Really, really. I mean, that's also, it is the oldest melodic instrument in the entire world,
Correct.
and there is no place in the entire on the entire earth that they don't have flute.
Hmm. Correct.
Every countries are just today, like last few hundred years, but every region, every place on this earth will have their own like own version of flute.
Right.
Fundamentally, a piece of empty bamboo or any, like pipe with some holes, and you are playing music through it.
Right. Right. So let's speaking of Guruji, Pandit Hariprasad Chaurasia, we'll definitely, talk about him. But before that, maybe we should definitely talk about your first guru and my, very early guru, Pandit Ajit Soman. Fondly, we used to call him as Ajit Kaka.
Ajit Kaka, yes, of course.
He was, त्याला आपण मराठीत म्हणतो ना की अत्यंत सज्जन माणूस,
Oh yeah, of course.
राईट. म्हणजे जेम ऑफ अ
सोज्वळ
पर्सन,
आणि सज्जन, सोज्वळ आणि सज्जन.
सोज्वळ आणि सज्जन, अत्यंत सज्जन माणूस. सो आय हॅव सो मेनी फॉन्ड मेमरीज ऑफ अजित काका. Let me share one quick memory of him and you together to my audience on this platform. So this was in early days when I just started learning the flute, and typically I used to call Ajit Kaka house in the morning and say, "Kaku, काका आलेत का? काका घरी आहेत का? येऊ का मी आज सकाळी?" And then Kaku used to say, "अरे ते आहेत पण रात्री 3 वाजता recording घेऊन आले, so दमलेत." So used to just few days back and forth like that, and then one day I used to be able to go and learn. So, and those mornings were blessed and beautiful, or like nice warm cup of tea, अजित काकांशी गप्पा आणि त्यांच्याकडनं शिकणं. So one such morning, I remember, Milind, I don't know whether you remember this or not, but one such morning, you had just like stopped by there for something. आणि मैं और अजित काका बैठ के हम ऐसे ही कुछ बजा रहे थे. I was trying to learn something. And then you picked up a flute from there, and then Ajit Kaka and you started playing together. And that moment has stayed with me forever because of a couple of reasons. One is the richness of the music that I experienced that day was out of this world. And how many times it happens that, there are absolutely two world class, performers playing together, jamming together, and in audience you are the only blessed person to.
Yeah.
So even today I'll say very humbly that I never understood what you both played, but from the experience perspective it has stayed with me. So I would definitely like to hear more about your experience and learning from Ajit Kaka and maybe
I
from.
think you are giving me too much credit. Whatever I was playing that time, I can guarantee you I was just following Ajit Kaka. He was the real person. He was the real musician who was creating all that magic, and I was just uh, like replicating him, or I was just trying to learn from whatever he was playing. Uh, Ajit Kaka, I started going to him, and he uh, Sudhir Moghe, the poet, very famous poet, musician, and singer. He sent me to him, and Ajit Kaka was like he never used to teach many people because he was very busy in his own things, and he never had time. So when I went to him, he said that, "Arey, I don't have time." And I said, like, "Yeah, but whenever you will have time, I'll come." So he said, "Okay, you try, keep trying." So uh, I didn't have a telephone that time, neither did he. So I had a bicycle and I would go every morning to his place. He used to stay near Bhikardas Maruti. I would stay in Narayanpet. So uh, uh, I would cycle there every day, morning around 8:39 whatever, and ask him, "Ajit kaka, आहे का वेळ आज तुम्हाला? बसायचं का थोडा वेळ?" So he would say like, "Do you have time? Can we sit for a lesson today?" And he would say, "Arey, no, I don't have time. I'm just going out." He was almost getting ready and all that. So I would come back and go next day. After 3-4 days, he would get completely fed up with me and irritated me. Okay, okay, sit for 10 minutes. Let's sit for 10 minutes. That 10 minutes invariably would have go on for like half an hour, 1 hour. And once eventually he realized that I'm in a little more serious than he thought I was. Then he would actually he started giving me actually time. Okay, we'll sit on this day. Come like tomorrow at 10 o'clock. We can say tomorrow at 5 o'clock in the evening. We can say, and then it started. And he was an incredible teacher. He was a just outstanding teacher. He taught me nearly all the basics I know. Uh, how to blow into flute, what is the importance of different notes, what are the notes, what is Indian classical music, and he used to play for Marathi songs with the Swaranand group and all that. Uh, Swaranand and some other groups, I think I don't remember the names now. Swara something anyway. Uh, it's like so many years ago now. So he would play all these Marathi songs. The original flute, most of them, those songs was played by Pandit Hariprasad Chaurasia ji, like Mogara Fulala, Runa Zuna Runa Zuna, or Name as a Sine, all those songs he would play. And whenever he would have concerts literally 4 times a week, five days a week. And if it is in Pune, I would definitely go. If it is outstation, I would generally not go. But uh, every concert I would go and attend, and that was also a great learning. Yeah, in Indian classical or any music, I mean any type of music, you just don't listen. You don't learn sitting in front of guru only. You learn sitting in front of guru, yes, definitely. But besides that, listening, going to concerts, attending concerts is a very going to seminars, going to talk, discussions, or all that kind of things is a very important part of music. Interactive sessions, like there are masters. There used to be so many seminars in Pune that time, and some, like big musicians, very knowledgeable musicians who might not be a superstar on the stage of Indian classical music, but whose knowledge was respected by those who were on the stage of the Indian classical music. Those kind of people would come to Pune, and they would have open discussions, like Bhairav ke prakar, different types of Bhairav. There are so many of them. So each of them would know 50 of them probably. I don't know. And then they would explain different nuances of those rags. How Shivamat Bhairav is different than in other Bhairav, or what is the difference between Bhairav and Ahir Bhairav, or whatever. I mean, there are many Bhairavs like that. So Ajit Kaka insisted that I should go and I must go and listen to all these places, and he he kind of really got me on the track of Indian classical music. Before that, I would play many, almost, I mean, actually all instruments in Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangha Ghosh, that's the band unit of RSS. Uh, I had composed a couple of melodies for them also that time. But Indian classical music was a completely different and much more difficult thing for me. It was just impossible. And playing a tune on of 20 instruments, like something like this, say for example, something like this, and playing Indian classical music even for the same duration is just two different things. So he had to kind of um, mm, whatever you say, he was a sculpture and I was the stone.
Nice.
So anyway, there's so many
So,
memories.
so I also have so many fond memories of Ajit Kaka, but so let's move forward in the journey. And of course, your next guru is Guruji, the one and only
Yeah,
Pandit Hari Prasad Chaurasia. So, uh, many of us know how you started learning with Hariji, or people can go on your website and know more details, etc. I'm curious about, like, typically a student when he learns something from Guru, right? He learns two things. One is the technique part of it, and the other what we call it as khayal or vichar, right? Ki
hmm.
कसं वाजवायचं काय वाजवायचं
Right.
right तर like for example I'll give you my particular example. One thing that I learned from you is when I used to few years ago where I used to absolutely struggle to play the Komal Dhaivat, which generally is known to be a difficult
It
note
is
to
a
play
difficult,
in
most difficult note
flute,
anyway.
right?
Kamal the Kamal Re.
But after talking to you and when you realize the exact problem, you got a custom made flute for me and sent it here, and that changed the my confidence level like anything. And again, I'll go back to this, agile scrum coaching. Why I'm saying that, because I use that example to coach teams sometimes, that just because you are struggling doesn't mean you are not doing something right. Sometimes you need to change the tool to
Oh
make
yeah,
things
yeah,
easier for
definitely,
you, right?
definitely,
A
definitely.
process should drive tool, a tool shouldn't drive process, kind of thing. So with that, baseline, I'm curious what's your experience with Guruji? What did you learn? And I'll just wait here.
What did I learn from him? What are my experiences with him? There are many, there are, millions of experiences. It's I have been studying from him since 1989, so I was just a school kid that time, and I would go to Mumbai. I would get a local railway pass for I think 249 rupees or something for 3 months, and I could travel Mumbai Pune in that. And I would go to his place in car, and there used to be very few students at that time, and we just would sit at his place, and he would teach, and we would try to learn whatever he was teaching. And the same thing happened there also, like what happened with Ajit Kaka, that he used to be very busy, and he would say, okay, Monday ko aa jana. So we would go there on Monday, whatever time he had called me, 10 o'clock or whatever. Maji, his wife would tell us, अरे वो तो चले गए, recording का phone आ गया उनका, वो चले गए. Then either I would sit there and practice, or just take a bus and go to Mehboob, because most of the times he would be in the Mehboob studio, and this that same bus would go to Mehboob, which would take me from car station to his place. Uh, so this went on for quite a long time. But uh, what I learned from him is, like many times I've thought that what did I learn from him? Technique, of course. Whatever this blowing you hear today, now I'll just play the same thing without giving any modulations to it, or similar thing at least. and with modulation. This kind of technique, these kind of techniques, of course, I learned from Guruji, and nobody is better than him anyway. But I think, of course, I learned rags from him, many things. I mean, almost everything I learned from him. But what was the unique thing what he taught us? Not just me, everybody. He taught us to differentiate between best and outstanding,
Hmm.
between good and best.
Hmm.
Anybody, even a kid, can tell the difference between bad and good.
Hmm.
If I start singing, people will say you are singing bad because I am a horrible singer. But to understand, and it's not just in music, then I realized, I mean, eventually I saw, like, observed that this is in almost every field. You try to buy clothes, you try to buy bags, you try to buy speakers, you try to buy car, you try to buy bicycle, you go and try to understand anything. It is very easy, very easy to differentiate between bad and good. Anybody can do that. Correct. But to differentiate between good and fantastic, good and, really magnificent or great, that is very difficult. Because until you have seen the great, you will think that good is great.
Hmm. Hmm.
So you need to see many things. You go to, say, for example, you go to some, you are buying some cloth, you love that cloth, the price is immaterial, you love that cloth, but then you go to some next counter and you see even better, and this is unending. So there has to be some kind of absoluting what you want and what is the best thing for you. And then if you have so many of best of the best, really fantastic uh, clothes or cloths together, and then you come across one thing which is way better than everything else, and that is
Hmm.
really outstanding. To reach that, to understand the what makes it better, why it is better, why it is so invaluable, you have to understand the best first, or the outstanding, like really great things first. For that, you have to understand the good things first. Bad things, okay, I mean, bad things also, I mean, it's like that. I mean, in so many concerts I have attended, like I have attended thousands of concerts, so not every concert is like the the great concert. There are many concerts which are okay, ye nahi karna hai mujhe. Okay, wherever I go on stage, this has to be avoided, something like that. That, so you learn from that also.
Right.
So these kind of things I learned from Guruji, and that is, I think, it helps me in my photography, it helps me in my anything. This photograph is good, or this photograph, what is good in this photograph, like, putting it in the words is one thing,
Hmm.
but to learn, to understand what makes a good picture, what makes a good photograph, what makes a good frame, the design balance out of it. I'm not saying that I'm a, the great photographer. I'm a hobbyist. I, I just, these days I'm clicking on my phone all my South India tour. I clicked most of the pictures. I have a Sony camera, but most of the pictures I shot on this OnePlus 7T I have. But the framing and all that, so that you have to learn. It's not just the sitar you learn. It's not just the tabla you learn. It's not just the flute you learn.
Hmm.
This is all beyond that. And of course, technique, instrument technique is like he's the god of flute anyway. So that is like really something I learned from him. But anyway, I mean, if I keep talking about what I learned from him, probably a few years now will not be enough. The problem
Okay.
is that whether I can practice it. I know, but whether I can play it or not, whether I can produce it or use it in my music, that's again different thing. I mean, you take you somebody takes you to a Formula One car. Okay, take the key or whatever it will have and go. The minimum speed it will go is like 180 miles per hour. So that will you be able to drive it? मराठीमध्ये म्हणतो ना की देणाऱ्याचे हात हजारो दुबळी माझी झोळी.
Nice.
The person who gives has thousands of hands, but
Barabar.
my bag is full of holes. It's
Yeah,
something like
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. So nice.
Anyway.
So
So that's so
can we listen to some of his stuff that you may want to do, or any other? That's fine.
Actually, Madhukarji, I remembered, talking to Guruji, I remembered a very interesting thing about him, that uh, the I remember, like, you said that, Sandeep, that uh, that day me and Ajit Kaka, I was were playing. Ajit Kaka was playing. I was just following him, and that was like, personal experience for you. I'll tell you one very similar story of Hari Prasad ji with me. He had a concert in Mulund or somewhere. There is a Kalinath, some theater there. I forgot the name. Same name in Kalidas theater is there. That's Mulund. There's one Kalidas theater in Nashik also. I think I have played the inauguration for that theater. So I think Pandit Jasraj ji, Shiv Kumar ji, and Guru ji, and I think Ajay Chakravarti, Ajay Pohankar ji, they were going to perform. It's an all-night concert in a theater. Ajay Pohankar ji started. He was the first, and after that, I think it was Guruji slotted. Then it was Shivji, and the end was going to be with Pandit Jasraj's singing. For whatever reasons, as it happened, Jasrajji, as I remember, he told that he had a very early morning concert flight to take to Delhi, so he wanted to sit earlier. So the organizers, once Guruji went there, uh, Jasraj ji said that he wanted to sing. So after Ajay Pohankar ji, Pandit Jasraj ji sat on the stage. He took up on the stage and he started singing. उनके बाद शिव जी की बारी थी. सो ऑर्गेनाइजर्स रिक्वेस्टेड गुरुजी कि गुरुजी आप एंड कीजिए. शिव जी को भी कहा जा रहा था, कुछ तो था उनका. तो वो बोले ठीक है, अभी मैं तो घर नहीं जाऊंगा, वहां से खार जाना और वापिस आना, इट वॉज इम्प्रैक्टिकल एनी वे. सो वी जस्ट आई वॉज देयर ऑल्सो, एंड सो वी जस्ट sat there. I think there were a couple of other students, and they went and started listening to Jasraj ji or Shivji, who were singing inside, performing inside. And the time was passing, 1 hour, 2 hour, एक तास झाला, 2 तास झाला. आपला कार्यक्रम तो 3-3 तासाचा होता. ऑल नाईट कॉन्सर्ट होती ती.
बरोबर,
तो
बरोबर.
काही चालू होतं ते आज जे काही चाललं होतं. सो गुरुजी इकडे गेले, तिकडे गेले, अरे चहा प्या, पाणी प्या, ते सगळं झालं. मग सगळं करून झाल्यानंतर आता काय करायचं? सो मीन टाईम मी गुरुजींच्या इथं बसलेलो होतो. अविशा म्हणून त्यांची एक विद्यार्थिनी ती होती. And there was a huge hall. He was there, and two of us were there. And he just picked up the flute and he played for half an hour. That is the greatest, best, whatever, I don't have words for it, that kind quality of music I have ever heard in my life. He never used the tanpura because there was no tanpura there. There was no digital tanpuras anyway. I mean, that time there was nothing digital probably. So this is like 90s story, early 90s. So uh, that is like, the similar experience I got, like you got it. So okay, I will play little rag Bhupali. I'll play in rag teen tal, not rag teen tal, teen tal. Okay, you have to give me like 1 minute because I have forgotten my water somewhere. Just give me 1 second. Maybe you can tell about Rag Bhupali in the meantime to the audience. Give me one time. I'll just get my water and come back. Okay, really sorry.
So Madhukarji, let me ask you if at this point as we are progressing, as Milind comes back and he'll play the Bandish, would you like to take a few minutes to talk about Saraga Pro app, the Tabla Pro app, and also I know you are working on something exciting. Maybe a short demo of that would be good for our audience here.
Yeah. I'll be glad to share the new things which are in pipeline, and I have one very old demo recorded. So now that interface has changed a lot, but I think audio is still good. So maybe I can share the audio of the older demo.
Okay. And before Milind starts, Milind, I wanted to,
Sorry
take
for
this
that.
platform and
I
share
couldn't
with
hear
the
you.
audience that, as Milind said, the poet Sudhir Muge sent him to Ajit Kaka. मला तसंच इथे सांगायचं की माझी आई महाराष्ट्र मंडळाच्या कटारी हायस्कूलमधनं शी वॉज अ रिटायर्ड हायस्कूल टीचर. तर तिथे आमचे काळे सर म्हणून जे आईचे सहकारी होते. तर काळे सरांनी मला अजित काकांकडे पाठवलं.
Oh, okay. I might know that.
So it's very interesting, common things we have. So
Okay.
hope you are
So,
back and settled,
yeah.
and we can start.
Very nice.
ब्युटिफुल.
Beautiful.
थँक्यू.
आणि मी एकीकडे जरा फेसबुक लाईव्हच्या कॉमेंट्स कडे लक्ष द्यायचा प्रयत्न करत होतो. माझं कॉमेंट्स कडे फार लक्ष नाहीये, कारण मी बासरी ऐकण्यातच गुंतलोय. पण there are getting beautiful reactions on our Facebook feed.
आर वी गुड? आय एम हॅपी अबाउट इट.
Someone has actually requested की मोगरा फुलला बद्दल थोडं ऐकायला आवडेल म्हणून, if possible.
मोगरा बुद्धाबद्दल मी काय सांगणार.
But I think we can
अतिशय
take this
उत्कृष्ट गाणं आहे आणि गुरुजीने त्याच्यात फार फार सुंदर मोगरा फुलाला विषयी मी एक गोष्ट नक्की सांगू शकेन की त्या गाण्याची एक फार खासियत, एक फार कमी लोकांना ती माहिती असेल. ते म्हणजे असं आहे की त्या गाण्याची लय अशी आहे आणि ती ओरिजिनलला ज्या पद्धतीने त्यांनी रेकॉर्ड केली त्यावेळेला ते काही असं हे रिटेक बिटेक नाही, ते वन टेक केलेलं असेल त्यांनी, एकत्र शेजारी शेजारी बसून केलं असेल त्यांनी. त्या गाण्याची लय अशी पकडलेली आहे की जर ती थोडी स्लो झाली तर बासरी वादकाला तो पीस तसा जसा वाजवता येत नाही, मध्ये दम घ्यावा लागतो. आणि ते जरा फास्ट झालं तर गाणाऱ्याची ती सगळ्यात होतं त्यातला त्याचा लहेज आहे, त्याचं जे हे ते गाण्याची व्हॉइसची मजा जाते.
इंटरेस्टिंग.
ते तसं फार ट्रिकी गाणं आहे ते, ऐकायला फार छान वाटतं, सोपं आहे. बाळासाहेब नेहमी म्हणतात की ते गाणं आहे ते त्यांना स्टेजवरती गायला फार आवडत नाही फारसं. तर त्यांना विचारलं मी एकदा का, तर ते त्याने स्टेजवरती पण सांगितलं खूप वेळा की ते गाणं त्यांच्या दृष्टीने परफेक्ट झालेलं आहे, त्याच्यात तुम्ही बदल नाही करू शकत. त्यात ते जे आहे ते तसं होणार नाही परत. ते बरोबर आहे, मान्य आहे मला, ते कसंही तसं परत कधी होणार नाही. पण ते
आणि तू
दैवी
आता
आहे
ते
ते.
म्हणालास की ते ऐकायला खूप सोपं वाटतं, सिम्पल वाटतं. सो इन जनरल आपण म्हणतो ना आयुष्यात की सिम्पल इज डिफिकल्ट,
हो या
त्यातला प्रकार, राईट?
या पण आता मला तुम्हाला एक सांगायचं आहे ना की आत्ता ह्या सारेग तबला प्रो त्याच्यावरती मी आत्ता ते वाजवलं, माझ्या फोनवरून मी ते ट्रिगर केलं, मागे तो एक स्पीकर आहे दिसतोय मला वाटतं, हा, त्याच्यावरती ते वाजलं आणि त्याच्यावरती मी त्याची साथ घेऊन मी वाजवलं. मला एक आत्ता आठवलं की आय थिंक 90sमध्ये, अर्ली 90sमध्ये माझ्याकडे कुठलं तरी गुरुजींचं रेकॉर्डिंग आलं होतं कॅसेट्सवरती. मी कलेक्ट करायचो, अजूनही आहेत माझ्याकडे ऑफकोर्स रेकॉर्डिंग्स, प्रचंड आहेत ती खूप आहेत माझ्याकडे, शेकडो रेकॉर्डिंग आहेत. त्याच्यामध्ये त्यावेळेला एक नवीन अशी गोष्ट आली होती, काय त्याला म्हणायचं बरं, श्रुती बॉक्स किंवा असं काहीतरी म्हणायचं मला वाटतं. जसं पॅ असा एक आवाज द्यायचा, तंबोऱ्याचं काही नव्हतंच यात, इलेक्ट्रॉनिकली जनरेटेड टॅ असा आवाज असायचा. आणि त्यावेळेला गुरुजींना अपरंटली अमेरिकेतलीच कॉन्सेप्ट होती कुठली तरी, तंबोरे तिथे मिळाले नाहीत त्यांना, पण प्रत्येक गावात, छोट्या गावामध्ये ते असतील असं नाही, मोठ्या गावांमध्ये असतील त्यावेळेला तंबोरे, पण छोट्या गावात तर नव्हते. तर ही जस्ट प्लेड ऑन दॅट. आणि त्याच्यानंतर मग मी कुठून तरी ती तशी मिळवली एक, आणि जसं ते यंत्र माझ्याकडे, एक श्रुती बॉक्स आलं माझ्याकडे, माझं वाजवणं खूप सुधारलं, कारण मला सा पक्का आला, मला सूर पक्का आला. कारण अदरच बासरीला कसं आहे, दोन्ही हात बंद असतात, म्हणजे बिझी असतात, आणि बेसूर व्हायला काही फार वेळ नाही लागत, नाही फार अवघड नसतं बेसूर. कुठे हा सा आहे का, वेगवेगळे सा असू शकतात. त्यामुळे तर मधुकरजींनी जे आता काम केलेलं आहे ते कमालीचं काम आहे. म्हणजे अँड्रॉइडसाठी एवढा चांगला तानपुरा तबला आणि द फीचर्स मी एकही ॲप मी अजून बघितलं. दिस इज लाईक रिअली द आउटस्टँडिंग ॲप I have seen, and I have firm belief in that. By practicing on this Sarega Tabla, though it is Sarega Tabla, it has a incredible tanpura, and Swaramandal also. You can just play the Swaramandal live. I didn't put it on right now because, as I said, my both hands are tied in the with the flute. I mean. Uh, but you can, while singers can, like, real absolutely pristine or pristine, whatever the pronunciation is. I never understand how Americans pronounce I and how I pronounce I. So either it is pristine or pristine, I don't know. So it's a pristine Swaramandal. Madhukarji, why don't you tell us more about this app, na? Will you please?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so I really struggle to find a good framework for this and also get good samples. And I got a lot of feedback from a lot of people. Um, Milind sir himself gave me a lot of ideas how to do this. The idea of doing Swarmandal by finger was his idea, and he gave me a lot of input.
Oh, was it mine? I don't remember.
Yeah, that
Was
was
it
it.
really? Oh,
Yeah.
yes. I feel nice now.
And I think it's still work in progress because the technology I use is pretty old, and now people
Acha.
expect newer things. So maybe it may go under a reincarnation in future. I also kind of experimented with extempore tabla playing, where computer generates the tabla bowl, and so what is going to play on, I don't know what's going to play. So I experimented with that and I recorded that as a demo. So I'm going to share that as a demo. I call it live play. So let's see that. Okay. The video is old, but I think audio still would be same as in today's app. Let me share the screen. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, let me rewind this. Let me check if, do you hear audio?
No.
Okay, no, let me fix the audio. I had to stop sharing first. Okay, share sound. Okay, about now. Good. Yeah. Yeah, so that was the demo for Sarega Tabla Pro live play. I hope you liked it. Now I have been working with a new app. I call it is sorry. I call it uh, Sarega Instrument Board. So let me share that video with you. Uh, okay.
That was beautiful. That sliding thing is like the uh, uh, main thing in the main is the main thing in Indian music. You go anywhere in the world and you listen to any ta ta whatever, and then immediately you know that this is come from Indian music. You, it can be anywhere in the mm, African movie or Italian movie or American movie or any
Yes.
reference of visual reference. You hear that "Tana,"
Right.
that's
Right. That's
that's
typical of
something
Indian music. So what
that's
I found
something
that
totally right.
lot of work has been done in Western music. There are a lot of software available, a lot of tools available, and as a result, what has happened that Western music has taken over our Bollywood industry and other areas. But if we do the reverse, like if we start writing tools for Indian music, one day most of the world might do Indian music, right?
Oh yeah,
I think it's up to us to really write tools for Indian music and then spread those tools so that people start learning Indian music and playing with it, basically. You know, so hopefully we'll reach there someday.
That's
that's
beautiful,
really
Madhukarji.
outstanding thing
And
you're doing. It's a great
Milind,
contribution to the
interestingly, what
world of
you
Indian
observed
music.
about this particular instrument's ability to have that mean, right?
Hmm.
Madhukarji, just a quick feedback for you. Yesterday, I showed this short demo that you sent me to my teenage son Aditya, who is learning tabla from Suryaksha Deshpande. And first thing he appreciated and noticed is, it can have that resonance sound and mean on a
Oh,
electronic
yeah.
board. So that's really interesting.
And you can change the instrument. You could have sitar, even piano doing main, guitar,
Oh, wow.
yeah, any instrument doing.
That's an exciting idea.
Yeah,
So thank you, Madhukarji, and Milind.
thank you.
Maybe if we can take the conversation forward again. I would like to still continue the thread of conversation on, you know, Pandit Hariprasad Chaurasia ji. But I would like to talk to you about the one unique thing that happens at Hariji's Gurukul, the Krishna Janmashtami festival.
Yeah.
For maybe the people in our audience who don't know what it means is for consecutive 24 hours, um, 12 o'clock to 12 o'clock in midnight at
Yeah.
Hariji's Gurukul now in Juhu, all the disciples of Hariji, they play music throughout the 24 hours, and Guruji also plays even at this age. So a couple of years ago when I was visiting India, I was fortunate and blessed to travel with Milind from Pune and spent an entire day in that environment. uh, the feeling of being able to touch Guruji's feet, and I still remember he had his both hands on my both shoulders when he got up. That will always stay with me, right? But if one day of that experience has done so much to me, Milind, I'm curious to know what your maybe couple of experiences are, and especially from early days when I know, like for you, maybe Rupak Kulkarni, Rakesh Chaurasia, you were handling like handful of senior disciples of Guruji, and how did that 24 hours happen? So let's can we talk a
We
little
were
bit
not
about that?
senior disciples then because there were no other disciples anyway. They were the other senior disciples because I was like way junior to them, at least that time. Rakesh and Rupak, of course, they are like phenomenal flute players and very dear friends of mine. I have learned a lot from both of them. Mm, and when I started going to Guruji in 1989, they were already 8 years learning 8 years with them, probably more. I'm not sure about it. Probably much more. So I was like, I couldn't even understand what they're like. The same experience what you had with me and Ajit Kaka, I would have with these two guys. Like Rakesh Rupak following Guruji. I couldn't understand what they were playing anyway. None of them. I could understand maybe 10% of it. Soon the percentage thankfully increased. There used to be Ramakant Patil, an incredible flute player. Uh, there used to be Rajendra Tere Desai, again a phenomenal flute player. There used to be one Sathe Kaka. He used to be. Then there were some very few. Literally, they were like under 10, probably not even 10, maybe 5 6 players. Uh, I would go there and I would never sleep. I was very curious what happens and all that every minute of 24 hours. That would go on for few years, and then I could also play. I was uh, qualified enough, or I was probably tayyar enough, or I was ready to play alone and play for a couple of hours. Otherwise, I was always a third person. That idea that time was do milke bajaye. Two flute players would sit together and play. So there is no load on one person because it's a long journey. 24 hours is non-stop is a lot. But that time Guruji would play about 18 hours.
Wow.
Once I remember he started playing Rag Yaman at midnight.
Hmm.
Janmashtami midnight and Kala midnight, it would get over. He played Rag Yaman for 8 hours straight. He played Rag Yaman till 8 in the morning, and not even one moment, not even once, he repeated what he had played.
Wow.
Every time he would come up with something new idea, new phrase work, new framework, new rhythmic work, new style, new something, and then continue for half an hour, maybe 1 hour. I don't know. Then he would come back to the bandish. Tabla player would play 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever he wants to play, and then again Guruji would start a completely new thing. I was like, how it is possible that you just take 7 notes and play for 8 hours? But he could do that. That entire thing was kind of eventually when I could play a little bit slightly better than a really bachcha. It started becoming kind of an annual exam for myself, not there was no examiner sitting in front, but I would assess myself that where am I in comparison with last year. Am I in a better place? Am I in a better position? If I'm in a better position, how much better? Otherwise it is just small improvement, it's useless, we are wasted the in entire year. So it was and it is still a great thing. Guruji has a very lovely house in Khar, and that's a huge. He has a very big terrace. So there is a very beautiful Krishna temple over there. So we would sit in front of that Krishna temple, and there used to be some pandal kind of thing because it always was. It's a rainy season, so suddenly the typical Bombay rains they would shower, and it always used to be a great feeling. Always Shivji, Pandit Shiv Kumar ji would visit. He would come at lunch, he would come at dinner time, then he would sit, he would listen to us. That was like pressurizing that there is zero commercial activity there, right? We are not doing any gimmicks and jugalbandi with tabla and all that. It's sheer, pure devotional music. And to play in front of Pandit Shiv Kumar Sharma or Ajay Pohankar ji or many great artists. Yash Chopra ji would come there, the producer director of Silsila and many songs, producers of all Shivhari's movies. Chandmani, Lamhe, Fasle, Vijay, both 10 music. He would come and sit. Subhash Ghai would come sometimes. Uh, just, so Subhash Ghai had told one very lovely story about Guruji. Uh, in the movie Hero, uh, the situation was that वो जय का जय किशन बन जाता है. He is a bad guy. He gets becomes a good guy or something. And his father used to play flute, jazz. So he plays flute, and that transition and entire that he explained Lakshmikant Pyarelal ji ki this is the situation so you have to compose a song. So they composed a song, he liked it, and everything was done. But जब recording चालू हो गया, so you know how there is a huge studio. That time there was like 200 people, 300 people would I mean, they should be able to sit and play. That kind of huge, large studios used to be there. अभी भी है बम्बई में पुराने जो स्टूडियो वैसे ही है. सो म्यूजिशियंस वेर सिटिंग, ये सब पूरा यहाँ एक 10-15 रिदम प्लेयर्स बैठे, कोई ढोलक है, कोई तबला है, कोई परकशंस है, कोई और क्या है, यहाँ तो कोई गिटार है, कोई एंड देयर वाज एवरीथिंग वाज देयर. एंड वो बोले कि ये बीच में ऐसा खाली खाली सा लगता है, देयर इज सम एम्प्टी पैच. सो प्यारे भाई बोले कि नहीं नहीं, वो हरी भाई है ना, वो बजाने वाले हैं. हरि प्रसाद जी इज गोइंग टू प्ले द फ्लूट. सो वो कहाँ है? सो ही शेड समवेयर. ऐसे बैठे तो सुभाष जी सुभाष जी इज टेलिंग अस कि मैं गया तो वो हरि भाई तो ऐसे सबके तरफ पीछे पीठ करके ऐसे कुछ बजा रहे थे। म्यूजिक क्या चल रहा था, ये क्या बजा था, मुझे तो कुछ समझ नहीं आ रहा है। तो मैं 5 मिनट देखा, चलने दो, मैं उनको डिस्टर्ब नहीं किया, वापस आ गया। एक 5-10 मिनट के बाद हरि हरि भाई वाप आ गए यहाँ से, चलो हो गया। एंड देन ही प्लेड दैट piece of the movie called as Hero. That has that's probably the first instrumental piece ever became, in today's terminology, viral or the famous in I think, I don't know when it was, like maybe 80s, early 80s, I don't even know. It was Jackie's and Meenakshi's first movie, I think 81, 82, I don't know. I I would never lecture really played that piece, but once I was coming back to Pune from Bombay with Jackie Shroff, and he had a huge Mercedes. We were sitting and we were chatting, and he had some appearance in Ferguson College. That's my college actually, and he was going to deliver a small message to some group of students and all that. And so kisi ne, there were other couple of guys in the car. So somebody came up with that, "Arey Milind, why don't you play Hero flute? Heroes ka dhun bajao. Jackie will take entry on that." I said, like, yeah, that's a great. Everybody liked that idea. So मैंने बोला एक ही प्रॉब्लम है जैकी दादा, आई डोंट नो हाउ टू प्ले दैट पीस, नेवर प्लेड। अरे ऐसा कैसे रे तू भिड़ू। सो ऐसे लाइक वो क्या था, अभी क्या करूँ। सो ठीक है, मैं सिखाता हूँ। सो जैकी श्रॉफ taught me that piece, and then I went and that in whatever that happened, it was fun. So कैसे I don't know play it. I think it goes like this. I think it's
Yes.
more or
Nice.
less
Nice.
correct.
Yes.
May not be 100% correct, but more or less it's all right.
The beautiful story, and Milind, I must say कि जब कोई कोई भी बांसुरी सीखना शुरू करता है तो वो माने या ना माने, somewhere they are thinking कि मुझे एक दिन ये पीस
Oh yeah, yeah.
बजाना है।
But by the way, Jackie Shroff is an incredible singer. Huh? He's a
Oh, is it?
fantastic singer. Yeah. He's a fantastic singer. But that's why I could learn from him. Otherwise, वो
Nice,
बेसुरा गया तो मैं कैसे बजाऊं, मैं कैसे सीखूं?
nice,
He's a
nice.
very
So
sweet, very very
let's take
genuine person.
the conversation forward. We have been, almost 1.5 hour, and it's been great conversation. We have been listening to some great music. Uh, we talked at early phase of this discussion that how flute and particularly Bhupali brings that inner peace, inner joy. Uh, and when we think of Shri Krishna, Krishna Janmashtami and all, मैं हमेशा सोचता हूँ कि there are two valuable gifts that I can see we we got from Bhagavan Shri Krishna. One is of course the Bhagavad Gita, and दूसरा the Basuri. We can immediately associate Shri Krishna with the Basuri. So the instrument itself is so closely connected with breathing. And as an artist, uh, Milind, I'm curious about what can you share about meditation, mindfulness. Again, there's so much stress around, but what does this instrument does? I mean, I always say that flute is my meditation, whatever I'm able to play. So curious to hear from you, Milind.
Meditation, again, I believe, is a great gift of Hindustan to the world. It originated from India, at least I believe that so. Power of mind is just incredible. But at the same time, mind also gets troubled very badly and very easily.
So
Somebody
true.
just looks at you with slightly bigger eyes, and you don't know, you're like little, why he's looking at me like that. uh, Music helps in meditation amazingly. Many greatest masters of spirituality have uh, taught many different ways of meditation. Meditation is not just sitting silent and breathing or whatever vipassana. This is one type of meditation, maybe important, very important probably, but not just one. There are many uh, types of meditations you can do. Osho himself has taught, I think, 110 different ways of meditation. The part of luck, as far as I am concerned, flute fits in probably all these 110 or whatever the few thousand types of meditations are there. It's a very organic instrument. This is probably the only instrument which is really natural. You don't have, you just have to take out some part of the bamboo, and that becomes your flute. It's probably the only natural instrument. You go to the woods, bambooच्या बनात म्हणतो ना आपण तसं, and these bumblebees, bhunge, they just make holes because they want to live in there. That's their home. And the wind cuts, and the sound comes. That's how it is. See, I'm not even touching the flute. Sound is coming. So when I learned Vipassana, I was told, okay, sit properly, breathe in, and focus on your breathing. That's what I have. I said, like, okay, that's nice because that's what I have been doing all my life. That's exactly what I do. When I play flute, that's exactly what I do. When I pick up a flute, breathe in and make the sound, produce the sound. I have to focus on the breathing because otherwise I'll play Besura. It will be very easy for if I don't focus on my breathing. That's so I have to focus and create a very smooth, straight sound. And I know literally thousands of times that I'm playing, I'm doing my riyaz at any time of the day, early morning to late night, or late night, early morning, like 4 o'clock in the morning, because I have not slept all night, or in the afternoon, or in the morning, or in the evening, and I suddenly have realized that I don't know what I'm playing. I just have gone to kind of a trance. That rag itself kind of carried me away from my focus on my practice. If I want to be a better musician, then I have to practice certain things. I have to practice. If I can't play this, I have to practice, play it again and again till I get it. And I don't know what I'm playing. I have gone into a trance. So that is meditation. One Siddha Purush, uh, we call him uh, Sai Kaka. So I asked him that this is what happens. I know a lot of times I uh, fall asleep while I'm playing or while I'm meditating, either way. So he asked me one question: do you understand what is happening around you? If somebody walks in the room, if somebody opens the curtain or something like that, do you understand? I said, like, yeah, feebly I understand something has happened or somebody has walked in. So he said, like, no, you're not asleep then. If you are asleep, you will not understand anything. This is your meditation. So Then suddenly I realized that why in the philosophy and the spirituality, flute has been always favorite of so many masters. I have been very lucky to play for so many greatest masters of uh, spirituality. I have played for Ravi Shankar ji at his feet a couple of times, several times actually. Osho, Nirmala Devi, right? Sadhu Vaswani ji to many times. He would have his one shibir in Lonavala, which is like maybe 60 kilometers from here, and I would go there and stay there for 5 days and play. Just at actually at his feet. So spirituality and especially flute and Indian classical music is very closely related. At the same time, I have seen that there is so much music out there created for meditation, relaxing of mind, music for sleep. Most of the times that uses some kind of Indian classical rag or some kind of Indian classical style, and funnily, very like that is very different. So I also created lots of music for relaxation, meditation, on the spiritual uh, path, music for sleep, music for building energy, music for calming your mind. All different frequencies are there, like 437 hertz and 512 hertz and that kind of thing. So I also created a large volume of music, especially in this Corona days, because there is nothing. I have my small studio at home, and it was so silent anyway because there was no traffic. You were not supposed to walk on the street, so it was like the most silent era, sitting at home. So I created a lot of music. Uh, there is one YouTube channel I have created called as Raga World, RAGAWORLD, Raga World. Just search for Raga World on your YouTube and just select the channel. So that will be the first channel you will get. And I have put some 4 5 tracks over there. They are like ranging from 1 hour to 2 3 hours. So I will put on I just like recorded so much, and then I got completely fed up of sitting at home, because though I was recording, I was not traveling, because that's what I have been doing for so many years now, and I'm not used to sit in the same city for 6 months. So I just took out my car and went on a long 1 month long solo drive for in South India, and visited many places from Goa to east coast to west coast. I mean, India east coast to west coast is like maybe 8 hours, not flight drive. And at the tip, at the bottom tip, like Kanyakumari, it's like few seconds. You just here you look at, you're on the east coast. Here you look at, you're on the west coast. So yeah, meditation, and it was really good. I will tell you one very interesting thing. There used to be a colony of Denmark in India. I didn't even know that Denmark had colonies in India. I mean, I didn't even know that Denmark had colonies anywhere. So that's place called as Tranquay Bar. It is just below Pondicherry on the east coast of India. So Chennai, Mahabalipuram, Pondicherry, and Tranquay Bar. So I went there, and it's a very beautiful place. And there is a very lovely, very old, of course, reconstructed now, but originally very old, because it got damaged by the tsunami. Shiva temple, Shankar Mandir. It is right on the beach. It is right on the beach, and if you'll see my cover picture on Facebook, it is clicked there, right in front of that temple. There are lots of rocks. Means like government has put for the protection of the this thing. But so I went there early morning. It's the east coast, so it was a sunrise I wanted to see, and I went there and sat in front of that temple. Shivji ka darshan kiya, and uh, I took my flute. So I said like, okay, I want to try and play my flute today, because actually I am a very mountain person. I'm not a very sea person. Seashore is always very loud. It is like so much sea sound is there, sound of waves, plus a lot of wind is there. So it is very difficult to play flute because I can't even. I mean, we can't even play flute under the fan, ceiling fan, because it was fast. The wind will get cut. I mean, my blowing will not get into the flute. So I was let me see. I said like I want to play here, and there was nobody there in the on the beach. I was very early. I think it was 6:30 sunrise, and I was there at probably 5:30. It was quite dark also, and I took out my flute and started playing. I felt like suddenly the entire sound of sea has calmed down. The entire volume level kind of dropped. I'm sure it didn't drop in reality, but my mind it was kind of the entire thing dropped, and it just remained. I felt that I'm just sitting on that rock, whether I'm sitting there or like kind of floating in there. It was like kind of all kind of illusions, or I don't even know what to say. But that was a feeling I will never forget. It just happened like maybe 3 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, and I did some video shooting of it. I did some take some selfie. I mean, just put my camera on a tripod and put a timer to it and take the picture that you will see in on that Facebook, my Facebook not page, my Facebook account. Anyway, so the coming back to our point that this entire thing is kind of an experience. The meditation or with flute and Indian music is an experience. It's like a taste of mango. No matter how much anybody will tell you how good or how the taste of mango is, and you have to eat it yourself. There is no option.
So true.
So true. And so maybe towards the end of the concert and discussion, um, can we talk a little bit about fusion? But before that, I want to take one question that came on our comments section. What's your thought about the, like the apps and online apps for learning flute?
See, online you can learn. The best method is to sit in front of the guru and learn. There is no doubt about it. But for whatever reasons it is not possible for you, then you have to look at some different method to learn. Okay, I know. Probably Rolls Royce is the best car in the world, but for whatever reasons, which everybody knows what the reason is, that I don't have that kind of money. I don't have it, so I have to go for a car which I can afford or what is available for me. It's exactly like that. I mean, sitting in front of the guru is the best, but for whatever reason, it is not possible. Either the distance or the government regulations that you cannot go from here to there, or you cannot hold classes, or you cannot have like schools or whatever, they are not open. Then online learning is, I think, very, very good. Uh, if it is in one person to one person or one to two persons at the most, it's really, really good. So there is no harm in doing that.
Thank you for taking that
As far as
question.
you are learning from a good guru, it is going to work. That is
Good.
something kind of part of luck, whether you meet a good guru or not. I mean, not in flute; it's in everywhere in the world. You go to a, in its corporate world also. That I have never done a job, but you too will probably you can tell me better about it. I have read somewhere that you don't leave the company, you leave your manager. I mean, it's kind of a
Yes.
lot of times it's like
Yeah.
the immediate.
Generally, it
It's
says
like huh?
Yeah.
generally it says people don't leave organizations, people leave bad managers.
Exactly, something like that. So it's
Yeah.
something like that. You have to be kind of lucky to have a good guru. I think Jack Welch, the chairman of GE, who is the legend by every means, he was about to leave. He definitely had decided to leave General Electric. He had only one job, that is General. I have read his autobiography. So he passed out of whatever Princeton or MIT or one of those colleges and universities, and he joined GE. And after some time, he decided he wanted to leave. So once his resignation went to his senior, he said like, "Why are you leaving?" He said like, "I cannot do this." So he kind of relocated him, because that person who relocated him to some different department knew this statement that people leave don't leave organizations. And
Similarly,
Jack Welch became the chairman. He became the legend, and the person who relocated him was a vice president in his company then when he was
hmm,
the chairman. I'm bad at names, but that's all in his autobiography. It's a very inspiring autobiography anyway.
similarly, one quote I personally like is in corporate context, right? It says, train people well so that they can be ready to leave, but
Hmm.
treat people well so that they don't want to leave.
Yeah, that is true. So anyway,
So maybe,
you can definitely learn with from the apps, and as far as you have got good apps and good gurus, good teachers, no harm in that.
okay.
But
So,
the best is to go in front of a guru.
right. So, Madhukarji, if you are also okay, maybe Milind, if you could talk some of your experience about fusion and maybe play some fusion piece for the closing the concert. And we'd like to thank all the audience taking time out on Sunday mornings, Sunday evenings, and enjoying this conversation concert. So thank you all, and hope we can get the
Thank you all. Thank you, sir.
Thank
Sandeep
you,
and Milind.
Madhukar ji first, and of course Sandeep for having me here and for such a lovely conversation. Uh, Talking about fusion, my idea of fusion is, I'm very clear about it, that fusion is mixing up two different or multiple different genres of music. Try while trying to keep the originality of that genre as much as possible. If I'm having a blues and Indian classical music, or blues and folk music, uh, I have to see that the blues has its, you can recognize that blues as blues. Oh, this is a blues lick. This is a blues style. At the same time, if I'm mixing it up with Rajasthani folk music, I cannot try to, uh, tell that Rajasthani guy to sing in a African style, leaving his own style. If I want an African guy, then I'll get another guy to, or if he is capable, then he'll sing in different time. We won't sing the Indian words or Indian song in an African style. I mean, that you can do. That you can do. There is nothing wrong. So that there has a lot of open areas, open spaces. So I think it is a very challenging music to create, because after all this has to be entertaining. Ranjayati iti ragaha, the one which entertains, the one which is like liked by people, whatever, is a rag. You just take few notes here and there, and you created a rag. It never works. I have created 10, 12 rags, but every rag is a very specific movement, specific uh, chalan, very specific rules. And after all that, I created probably 15, 20 rags, but I think I just cancelled or just discarded 7, 8 of them, because they were not like good. They were not holding the mind, holding the audience. रंजयती तेरा देवर, वो रंजन नहीं होता था. It has to touch your heart, it has to touch your mind. So just because I have created and I feel nice, no, that happened. And then remaining, I played a lot for years, and then that those rags were formulated. uh, I have recorded for Neelam Audio in New Jersey or Tri-State. I think he lives some
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia, one
Mohan
of the
Kaka
tri-state
Ranade.
places.
Mohan
Mumbai.
Ranade.
So त्यांच्यासाठी मी
Philadelphia.
वाजवलेलं आहे, and he was very happy to release my album. I'm also very honored that he release my album of a new rag, because not many people will actually go for it. वो बोलेंगे नहीं नहीं आप तो बागेश्वरी या यमन जो भी कुछ ट्रेडिशनल है वो बजाइए. So he took the risk, and I'm very happy and very thankful to him. Uh, anyway, should I play something fusion, or I'll play something else completely different?
If you're okay, I would like to request fusion because I'm sure our audience also will get to hear some completely different
Different, yes.
aspect from
Yeah.
Indian classical.
Um, okay, it to take the entire mood to the slightly lighter side. I'm going to tell you a very interesting story, and then I'm going to play a very popular song, which I don't play song, but this is a song which is dear to everybody's heart, so I'm going to play that again. Uh, you know what happened? Just 1 second. I'm having this little cough and cold issue because of my travels from coastal area to the mountains, and again coastal area, and to again mountains, and back to Pune. The most troubling is Pune. Pune weather somehow doesn't suit me. And neither does Bangalore weather. But I just love the weather, so I'm here. So what happened was, so what happened was, once I was called to play a background piece for a movie scene. Old story, I don't remember which movie was it. Some movie must be there. So ऐसा था सीन था कि there is a old lady who is about, like, to die, and her entire clan, her couple of sons, one daughter, and their sons, their wives, or whatever, there's another 10 15 or of her family is just around the bed. And the somebody says that they are already kind of crying, she is kind of dead probably. And suddenly she opens her eyes, and one of the her sons, अरे ये तो जिंदा है, and everything that changes. So from very sad music, sudden change to a, like, elevating music, slightly happier music, ki अरे she is still alive, that kind of thing, like hope, the hope, or like relief, अरे she is there, kind of thing. So they tried various things, and they were not happy. I'm sure they, whatever they tried was good, but somehow producer director were not happy. So मुझे बुलाया, तो मैंने देख लिया, हाँ ठीक है, करो, run the scene. So you see the scene in front of you, and you just play with sync on with the visual. You see it 2-3 times, mark it in your mind कि इतना टाइम के बाद ये चेंज होता है, इतने टाइम के बाद चेंज होता है. तो here it was very simple. There was a cue that अरे ये तो जिंदा है. तो now Sandeep, will you say ये तो जिंदा है? What I will do, I will play some very sad piece because she is dead, and then you suddenly see her opening eyes. So let a minute go, and then minute or whatever, and then you say, "अरे ये तो जिंदा है," and then let me see if I can recreate that change of mood, complete change of mood. Okay,
Okay. And I
can you
want
say
to
that?
just mention to this audience that this is completely on the fly. We are doing this.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah, of
not
course.
rehearsed. We haven't talked about it yet. So let's see how it
He doesn't
goes.
even know about it. But anyway, you don't have too much of a risky part. You all you have to say is, "अरे ये तो जिंदा है." Try to put emotion in it.
अरे ये तो जिंदा है.
Oh yeah, correct.
Okay. Let's go. Yeah, I'll wait for about a minute or so.
Whatever. I mean, whenever you feel that she has opened her eyes, you can
First
say
couple
that.
of minutes, yeah. And then, okay.
So she is dead. Everybody is around. It's a very sad situation. They're in the hospital or wherever they are, and the scene starts.
अरे ये तो जिंदा है.
You can create this kind of uh, changes. Music can completely change the scene.
Hmm.
A very serious scene with music, you can make it a complete comedy scene, a movie.
Hmm.
So anyway, I'll just play a song which is very dear to our heart, which is Vande Mataram. Is it okay, Madhukarji?
Yes.
It is in, of course, as we know, it is in Rag Desh anyway. Jai Hind. Thank you very much, Madhukarji. Thank you, Sandeep, and thanks
Very nice. Thank
to
you.
the audience who have joined us and who will be eventually watching this after offline or like off live or whatever it is called nowadays. I don't know. So yeah,
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Milind. Thank you, Sandeep. Thank you, all of
thanks,
our
thanks,
lovely audience. Thank you. Thank you for
thank
watching.
you very much.
And now we'll go back and read all the comments and see what people have provided. But thank
Oh
you,
yeah.
all the audience, for again taking a time to listen, and hope
Oh
you
yes,
all enjoyed it.
yes.
Thanks all. Bye.